It all comes down to this for the Chicago Bulls ahead of the play-in matchup against the Miami Heat. I have major Bulls news update for you guys. Hi, I am Shaq Barnes, SB Talk Sports, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest, the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls. Also, I noticed that 6% of you guys have been watching the channel and have not subscribed. Act like the Chicago Bulls intro and run through that subscribe button. But yes, we got a lot of major news updates coming out for the Chicago Bulls ahead of their matchup against the Miami Heat. And we got the play-in game ahead tonight, Chicago Bulls versus the Heat. And none other the major news update is about the report of Josh Giddey's health. Josh Giddey is good to go for the Chicago Bulls play-in game tonight. Billy Donovan was quoted saying that Josh Giddey practiced fully, no restrictions. He was out there playing with the team, so he will be good to go for tonight's game. Bulls insider KC Johnson also brought up the fact, Josh Giddey said that he was going to play, but he was definitely quoted about the pain. He said it's just managing the pain. Giddey said it's a hard injury to heal and we'll address it fully in the offseason. He said it's a muscle issue in his hand and not his wrist. It's been a lot of things going on and said about Josh Giddey injury. I didn't see that it said it was his forearm at one point in time. I seen that it was his wrist at a point in time. Now he's just saying it's an issue in his hand, and that will leave a level of concern for a lot of people with the Chicago Bulls, because is it Josh Giddey left hand? Is it his right hand? Is it shooting hand? Obviously, Josh Giddey is our point guard, one of the top rebounders on the team. The concern would be, would it hurt his passing? Would it hurt his shooting ability? Because we need Josh Giddey in this game. And when you check how Josh Giddey played against the Miami Heat this season, you will understand why. But the injuries for the Chicago Bulls led a list of concerns for the Bulls, and where people believe that with the injuries that the Chicago Bulls have sustained at the moment, the Chicago Bulls might be an underdog in this game because, Lonzo's out. You got the Trey Jones, mainly Giddey, because Giddey will be the superstar factor in this game. Now, when you go to X factors, it could be Buzelis, it could be Herter, it could be Vooch, one of the other guys. But when it comes to that superstar guy who we need to perform and need a great game from him, especially against the Miami Heat, it got to be Josh Giddey. So now with Josh Giddey possibly not being at his full potential, it revs up a concern for the Chicago Bulls. But I think with Billy Donovan coming out saying that Josh Giddey practiced fully, and he just said he's pretty much managing, and he said to Bulls insider KC Johnson, it's more about managing the pain of more anything. And we all know once you get the adrenaline pumping out there, I think Josh Giddey will be fine. Hopefully he doesn't aggravate it again during the game, because if you see from yesterday last play-in game, it was the Warriors versus the Grizzlies. Ja Morant had messed his ankle up, so it's definitely a possibility of a nagging injury could occur during the game, or just anything random. Only thing that concerns me about this is that the Bulls being the underdog in the play-in. And mind you, I done said this, y'all done heard me say this episode before, you can sweep somebody in the regular season and then end up losing in the playoffs against this team. And one of the teams that has done that to us in the past was the Miami Heat, because we have swept them before in the season and lost to them. But I think this is a different Heat team, and I think this is a different Chicago Bulls team. And like I said, we swept these guys this season, 3-0. And also, I think the Bulls should be in great consideration of winning again, because, yes, the Heat led in every game. They couldn't sustain their lead. And I think if the Chicago Bulls play their style of basketball, which the Heat don't like playing that style of basketball, I think we could do great. Because if you also look at the fact of how he has been playing the last 12 games, they have improved a lot of things for their offensive rating, their defensive rating, their net rating. A lot of things have went up. But what the Chicago Bulls need to do is keep the pace high, keep their points per game high. And because I think when you look at the offensive rating between both teams and you look at the team down the scale on paper, I think offensively the Bulls have the better team. Defensively, you might get argue for the Miami Heat. So what the Chicago Bulls should do and want to do is make it Chicago Bulls style of basketball, run up and down the floor, get to the points, get to your spots, shoot a lot of threes, win the rebound battle. But then when they say we are underdogs when it comes to the injury concern, obviously we don't got Lonzo Ball, we don't got the Ayo Dosunmos, and we don't got the Trey Jones. Josh Giddey obviously is here. He will play, and I think he will be the deciding factor when it comes to the Chicago Bulls winning this game. And Josh Giddey health matters a lot. But even with Josh Giddey being 80%, let's say 80, but we got Trey Jones, Lonzo Ball, and Ayo Dosunmu being out. I don't think this injury should make the Chicago Bulls an underdog against a team that they swept during the season. Now, if this list said Kobe White, Vooch out, I can see that. But we still got our major players in this series or in this play-in game. So I think the Chicago Bulls should be fine. I honestly think it's disrespectful to look at us as an underdog in this situation of how good we have been playing post All-Star break. This is a totally different team. And when I say we playing totally different and we got a possibly superstar talent in Josh Giddey, the Heat should know that well, because when Josh Giddey plays against the Miami Heat, he's averaging a triple-double. 26, 10, and 10 against the Heat. This is superstar level numbers. So when I look at my player of the game or who I expect to go off, it has to be Josh Giddey. And obviously the numbers that he averaged for the season and compared to the numbers he averaged for the Heat, all his numbers are up. Every which way. His points, you see, went to 14, 26. 8 rebounds is 10. 7 assists is 10. His shooting percentage was 46. Against the Heat is like 47 to 48%. So Josh Giddey knows how to turn it up a notch against this Miami Heat team. And I understand this Miami Heat team knows Josh Giddey well. So I'm expecting an outstanding night from Josh Giddey against this Miami Heat team, with him saying he's good to go. And it is the playoffs. It's the playoffs. Everybody's injured. Everybody might be banged up, dinged up. But once Josh Giddey said he is good to go, I'm 100% positively believing in the Chicago Bulls tonight. I think the Chicago Bulls gets it done, and then we'll be on our way to Atlanta on Friday. And I think the guys need to get well rested and be prepared for the game on Friday against the Atlanta Hawks. But and I'm not saying that just to like we looking over the Miami Heat. I'm just saying we got our big 4 major players that was going to make a difference, and they revving ready to go with Kobe White, Buzelis, and Nikola Vucevic. I think the Chicago Bulls should be fine. This has been another great episode of Bulls Digest, the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls. Make sure you guys comment down below. Do you think Josh Giddey cannot perform because he's banged up, or do you think we're still going to get the same Josh Giddey? Is we going to get the 26, 10, and 10 Josh Giddey tonight versus the Miami Heat? Because it looks like he loved playing against this team. This has been another great episode. I'm Shaq Barnes. Peace.